Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Sport World Mail. It's quite an interesting weekend. I think most football fans will always appreciate this particular weekend. It's been an epic game so far. True, I think the games this particular weekend was just. I think some people say it's expected, but I think. The enjoyment in the entertainment in the game, it was just something that everybody will always want to enjoy. Maybe those that does not watch football, maybe this might be the one they will be missing out. We can analyze the games all in proper. I'll start with Tottenham Leeds. That was a different level of game. I think it was a pressure settling kind of game, because early kickoff in the Premier League is always a different kettle of fish. How Tottenham was able to deal with it, absorb the pressure, and got the 3 point from that game is just, and going to Ellen Road is always, man, it's one of the toughest grounds to play against. That Leeds Stadium, it's always a difficult ground. I think they got all 3 points. Goes from Kudus and Matistel. Yeah, Matistel scored the first goal. Leeds equalize, then Kudus make it 2-1. That was a beautiful football match for the youngster, especially Matistel. He has been under criticism in the Premier League because he has not really make positive impact in this Tottenham team, but only that he could get a beautiful goal from there. I think it was an outside 18 shot. No, it wasn't really outside the shot, but he played that particular game well, and he scored the goal. It was all 3 points for Tottenham. This sent them second to the table, owing that some other games have not been played. Other games have not been, because it was the first game of the week. So the next game I'll talk about probably will I talk about Manchester United. This was a match, let's say match relief for Manchester United fans. A lot of them were watching the game out of pressure, not like they were watching it because they have not really seen their team perform excellently well this particular season. Among all the matches they have played, apart from maybe the first match they play against Arsenal, which every Manchester United fans were satisfied about the performance of the team, not the result but the performance of the team. But this particular game was I think it was a dominant display from Manchester United. They won the game comfortable 2-goals win. First goal was scored by Mason Mount. Man, God, that goal was a typical Mason Mount kind of goal. If you watch Mason Mount back in Chelsea, you just know this is his kind of goal, and he scored a beautiful goal from there. Then the second goal was scored by Benjamin Sesko. He's now scored 2 goals in 2 starts. I think 2 goals in 2 starts. He has not really started a lot of games, but in 2 starts he has scored 2 goals. That was that's like a morale boosting performance. Apart from the goals, his performance all round in the field was just excellent. He was totally involved in all the play. He was winning all these area duels. Like, he was basically not, like, you will not say busy. He was busy and busy doing something, not busy doing nothing, but he was busy doing something. And I think this should be his best performance so far in Manchester United shirt. Kudos to him. He's getting the goal now that will give him more morale to perform better in other games. I think they still have tougher games to come, but this one like give him more morale to say, okay, I can do this. I can score more goals for this team. Whenever they need goal, they can rely on me. You understand? So kudos to Manchester United, and a big relief for Ruben Amorim, who is seriously under pressure, both from the fans and both from the owners. But in this particular win now will give him more morale boost and feel okay, I can get my back-to-back win, which he has not gotten since he has been in the Premier League. So we'll see how it goes so far. But I'll talk about Arsenal game. Our game was like, I think 2-0 was a flattering score from West Ham. It was an absolute dominance from Arsenal. The West Ham didn't come to play at all. They just came to defend their way throughout the game. And the game started so bright, like the movement from Odegaard, Eze, and Leandro Trossard was so good that they were moving the ball faster. It looked like they could break through. I think the first clear chance that Arsenal was supposed to score was Eze skyrocket the ball over the bar. I think that particular one was it was a goal that normally you say Eze is supposed to score this particular goal. One time West Ham grew into the game and they were feeling like okay, they could rely on this defensive ability to get a result. Quick pass from Zubimendi to Eze fired the shot and the keeper saved it, then the Carras fired it back and gave Arsenal a 1-0 lead. That goal opened up the game, and I think West Ham was trying to come out to see okay, we're already down, let's come out from our share, let's see whether we can grab something from this game before they considered the penalty from Julian Timber, and Saka converted it, and he scored in his 100 goal contributions in an Arsenal shirt. 55 goals in an Arsenal shirt and 45 assists. So that was a beautiful one for the youngster, for a 24 years old player, and he's still quite young. When you see Bukayo Saka, you think he's already old, but the guy is just 24, bro. I think he still had a lot to bring to this team. For Gyökeres performance, I think this might not be his best performance, but he tried to be involved in the game, and actually he was involved in the game. Though the West Ham defenders were really on him. They like two, was it Mavropanos and Klinsmann? Yeah, Mavropanos and Klinsmann. They were on him, like he was battling. It was putting up. It just like someone fighting wrestling. He was putting up this battle with them. But I think he got a clear chance from a cross from Declan Rice, but he couldn't convert that. Gyökeres will surely come good. I feel this is the early stage in the Premier League and he's trying to find his feet. After struggling all this period now, he will get to understand the league, and he will now knows how to position himself and start getting the goals. And this team too will still create a lot of chances for them. I think most of this team is still finding, they are still not getting to their rhythm. They are not playing to their best, though they are getting the result, but they are not playing to their best. But they will still find way to create chance for him to score goals, and definitely he will score goals. He might not score to Haaland's level, but a reasonable amount of goals for a striker, he will surely get there. Then we talk about let me save the best for the last. Let me talk about Madrid match. I think that was an epic performance from Real Madrid. I never saw them beating Villarreal 3-1. Because this Villarreal team is a good team. It's a team that is, will I say, resurfacing, because there was a time that Villarreal was down, like the way Sevilla was down now. Like Sevilla is down now, but now with couple additions on the players they have added now, the team is now looking strong. Both their performance in the Champions League, their performance in the league too. So seeing Madrid beating them 3-1 was quite surprising. I think kudos to the performance of the Madrid players. Players like Vinicius Junior, who got a brace in the game, Kylian Mbappe making it third, and other notable performance from Jude Bellingham and Adagula too. They performed so well. I think Mbappe is almost out now, out with a knock. Maybe we don't know how serious it will be, but we'll see how it goes. So far. Let me talk about Chelsea versus Liverpool. I think this particular game was one game that Chelsea fans, I will not say they were confident in that game. They were like, they were now on a 50-50 base. They are not scared of Liverpool, but they were not that confident. And the fact that they are not confident is because of their backline. There are so many injuries especially from their backline. So many injuries and suspensions. Chalobah was suspended for this particular game. Tosi was injured. Koren was injured. Like a lot of their players. Imagine ending up with Achipong with Badashi as the defender to go and face a Liverpool team. But so far, those players did excellently well. Even within the game, Achipong and Badashi later went off for the game again too. Like I think they have is that fatigue or maybe they have a little bit of knock. Both of them went out. Then they now ended up with Reece James and young Hato at the defense, and they still won. Liverpool 2-1. First goal was scored by unbelievable strike from Moses Caicedo. I think that boy has really proven to be one of the best midfielders in the world. As far as could say, he's one of the best in the world, especially from his position as a DM. Then Gakpo equalized from will I say Isak assist? Maybe, yeah, Isak assist. Then Gakpo equalized. Then finally Kukurea assisted the last goal of the match, which is scored by Estavo, and Chelsea got a 3-point win from that particular game. The last 10 minutes of that game was an absolute dominant display from the Chelsea players. Like, they pinned Liverpool to the wall. The last 10 minutes of that game, Liverpool couldn't come out from that shell from that last 10 minutes of that game. Like the mentality of the players, the mentality of the manager to still go for the win, even when they are having a lot of setback in that particular game, was something I could commend the manager for. He keep pushing them to go for the win, and finally they got the win, and it was a well-deserved win. Kudos to the Chelsea. I think this particular loss has now made Liverpool 3 losses in a row, 2 in the Premier League and 1 in the Champions League. Obviously, there is something wrong with this Liverpool team. I think the team is lacking balance. The manager is like someone that, well, I say for now, it's looking like he's lost of an idea of how to balance the team. He doesn't even know his first 11. He keep changing, especially from the midfield. He keep rotating everybody in the midfield. It's obvious that he doesn't even know his first 11. It's still early in the season. We'll see whether they will find their feet, and definitely I know they will later find their feet. They will gel later, but the race shouldn't be too far away from them before they find their feet. So but for now, Arsenal is on top of the table with 1 point, 7 games in already. Then we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for this particular video. Do ensure to like, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification, and drop any video you will notify. Thank you, and God bless.